Господин Эрдоган дал подробные разъяснения, касающиеся целей и задач турецкой военной операции вдоль границы с Сирией. Мы уже не раз отмечали, что с пониманием относимся к стремлению Турции предпринять шаги, чтобы надежно гарантировать свою национальную безопасность. Разделяем беспокойство турецкой стороны в связи с усилением угрозы терроризма и ростом этноконфессиональных противоречий в данном районе. Эти противоречия и сепаратистские настроения в последнее время, на наш взгляд, искусственно подогревались со стороны. Важно, чтобы действиями турецких вооруженных сил не воспользовались члены террористических организаций, в том числе ИГИЛ, чьи боевики содержатся в плену у курдских вооруженных формирований и пытаются вырваться на свободу. Сирия должна быть освобождена от незаконного иностранного военного присутствия. Достичь прочной и долгосрочной стабилизации в Сирии в целом, на наш взгляд, можно только при условии соблюдения суверенитета и территориальной целостности этой страны. Это принципиальная позиция, и мы обстоятельно говорили об этом с президентом Турции. Важно, что турецкие партнеры разделяют такой подход. Защищать мир и спокойствие на границе туркам и сирийцам предстоит вместе. И здесь без взаимоуважительного сотрудничества между Турцией и Сирией не обойтись. Кроме того, нужно запустить широкий диалог между правительством Сирии и курдами, проживающими на северо-востоке Сирии. Очевидно, что именно в рамках такого инклюзивного диалога могут быть в полной мере учтены и реализованы все права и интересы курдского народа, курдов как неотъемлемой части многонационального сирийского народа. В ходе переговоров мы с президентом Турции, конечно же, обсудили и дальнейшие шаги по продвижению мирного политического процесса в Сирии, который сами сирийцы при содействии Организации Объединенных Наций будут вести в рамках Конституционного комитета. Над его созданием страны-гаранты астанинского формата кропотливо работали в течение всего последнего времени, на протяжении многих лет. Исходим из того, что ситуация на земле не должна препятствовать долгожданному запуску комитета уже на следующей неделе, 29-30 октября, в Женеве. Конечно же, затрагивалась и гуманитарная проблематика. Считаем необходимым и далее помогать сирийским беженцам вернуться на родину, что позволит заметно облегчить бремя социально-экономической нагрузки, которую несут страны, соглашаясь.
Putin's success in the Middle East as a side factor. In Europe, running in a circle continues. Triumph, triumph, and again triumph. So, in short, you can describe the results of the talks between Putin and Erdogan in Sochi. A couple of unlucky American mediators represented by Vice President Pence and Secretary of State Pompeo were able to agree with the Turkish leader only on a brief pause in Ankara's war against the Syrian Kurds. The head of Russia managed to agree with his Turkish counterpart on a comprehensive plan for the cessation of hostilities on the territory of Syria, which is advantageous for the Russian Federation. At the same time, Moscow does not seem to be in danger of becoming extreme in the eternal quarrel of the Turks and Kurds, which does not even think to stop. Is there a fly in the ointment in this ointment? There is. And it consists in the fact that Russia's foreign policy successes in the Middle East are very clearly contrasted with the lack of similar achievements in the scale of our diplomacy in other regions of the world that are important for Moscow, and especially in Europe. Do not go, advisor, to the players, you want to get too tough. This passage from the novel by Yaroslav Hosek about the adventures of the brave soldier Schweig should be a warning to all foreign intermediaries who want to help reduce the size of permanent chaos in the Middle East. Complex people dominate the political processes in this region, complex and able to hopelessly confuse and drive crazy even the most experienced and patient external players. One of the most pleasing features of Putin's deal with Erdogan is that Moscow, apparently, does not face such an unenviable role of an extra participant in the Turkish-Kurdish conflict. Through the mouth of Dmitry Peskov, the Kremlin made it clear, Russia is not going to persuade anyone. If the Kurds do not comply with the terms of the agreement, our military police will simply step aside and give freedom of action to the Turkish army. Given the fierce conflict, there is no doubt, give the Turks only one tiny chance, and they will take advantage of such freedom to the fullest with very tragic results for the Kurds. The leaders of the Syrian Kurds as rational political players have only one option, to abandon claims to an independent political role and go under the auspices of Moscow as partner Bashar al-Assad, whom they didn't even penniless before. Of course, foreign policy success in the Middle East is not an instantaneous achievement, after which everything will automatically go like clockwork. Foreign policy success in the Middle East is a fragile and capricious plant that needs constant watering and care. In connection with the agreement between Putin and Erdogan, I still have a number of questions, the answers to which have not yet been given and, perhaps, will be given very soon. Moscow has taken on quite serious obligations to patrol the Syrian Kurdish regions. Will this require Russia to transfer additional forces to Syria? And if so, how large will the buildup of our military presence in the Middle East be? And how much will our country have to pay for it? More global issues remain. Many years of the war destroyed Syria almost to the ground. The restoration of the country's economy will require many billions of dollars. Where will these billions come from? Russia certainly cannot and should not be their source. The source of money can be either the rich oil monarchies of the Persian Gulf, or the West, or international financial organizations, or all these forces combined. But nobody will agree to help Assad for no reason. Thanks to our support, the Assad regime has de facto regained control of most of its territory. But this does not negate the need for a formal political settlement, the return to the authorities in Damascus of the international recognition that they lost during the civil war. A similar process is not a quick matter. Most likely, the re-establishment of the Syrian state through the convening of a constitutional assembly, long political bargaining, serious concessions in terms of sharing power will be required. However, all these tasks ahead in no way nullify Moscow's foreign policy successes in the Middle East. The oil painting is spoiled by something else, stagnation on the European diplomatic front. I am very worried about the course of events in Ukraine. Having made a swing for $1 million, Vladimir Zelensky could not even hit a penny. Unable to fulfill his obligations to withdraw Ukrainian forces from the demarcation line in the Donbas, the president of Ukraine chose a very strange tactic. Zelensky pretends that he has fulfilled all his promises and now the ball is again on the side of Moscow. For completely understandable reasons, this does not suit Russia at all. The Kremlin does not need to participate in the one-goal game offered to us by the new leader of Ukraine. But the question arises, how should Moscow build its policy towards Kiev in the context of the political weakness of the president of Ukraine? You can, of course, give up on Zelensky with a hand, they say he is as hopeless as Poroshenko. But isn't it too early to equate the two presidents of Ukraine? Yes, Zelensky does not hold a blow, does not really understand where he found himself and what exactly he should do. But, unlike Poroshenko, his successor seems to at least want to do something positive in terms of resolving the conflict in the Donbas and improving relations with Moscow. Could Russia somehow take advantage of this and help Zelensky help himself? My eternally skeptical mind tells me no, it cannot. Tango requires two. But when Russia became an active participant in the conflict in Syria, I was also very skeptical, and this is still mildly said. To deal with Syria now, of course, is more exciting than Ukraine in particular and Europe as a whole. In the Middle East there is a drive, a feeling that everything is working out for you. Instead in Europe, there is a sense of running in a circle, that we have already gone through all this. But such a depressive perception of reality, from my point of view, is only partially justified. America is sinking deeper into internal political clashes, which this time, fortunately, are only indirectly related to our country. This does not diminish the Americans' disposition to restrain Russia wherever possible. See, for example, The statement by US Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross that there is no need for Uzbekistan to join the Eurasian Economic Union. But this greatly reduces the effectiveness of their actions. Europe, or rather, an important part of Europe, is very tired of American freaks, of Ukraine's ability to simultaneously demonstrate its complete helplessness and the extreme level of aggressive demands. None of this guarantees Russian diplomacy an easy road to success. However, if the road is difficult, bumpy, tortuous and blows off the wind, it is not a reason to turn your back on it. Our national interests are not exactly exhausted by the Middle East. Europe is at least no less important.